You land at the southeastern shore and take a moment to survey the surrounding area. The road heading north to Melee City is blocked by a trainer trying to teach their Wailord how to survive on land, but thankfully, you can still access the power plant, which now has a much larger area you can explore. In addition to a larger environment, the power plant houses another shocking feature, a brand new trial you can take on. In the time between this hypothetical game and Ultra, Sophocles, one of the trial captains, has become an intern working at the power station, and set up a brand new trial you can challenge. This trial involves traversing generators that are set up at Blush Mountain and knocking away Pokemon that are mooching off of the energy. To do this, Sophocles gives you a new ride Pokemon, a Turtonator, and when you want to quote-unquote ride it, the game takes you into a first-person perspective of the Pokemon and lets you shoot projectiles out of its mouth. You need to use Turtonator's power to knock down 4 energy-stealing Pokemon throughout the power plant, and when you do, you battle them like normal so they leave the area. After you successfully scare off the energy-stealing Pokemon, the gigantic trial monster appears. It's a totem Alolan Raichu that can summon Plusle and Minun to help it battle. Not even this fearsome sight will stop your conquest, however, and you break through the electricity in the air to crush the totem, complete your trial, and earn an Electricity MZ in the process. Now that you've finished your 5th trial, you work your way westward down the coast. You arrive at the Trailer Park Plaza, and you see a couple of Team Reskull grunts stealthily going even further west. You follow them, and you're led to a somewhat creepy area with the heralded abandoned supermarket you've been searching for. You enter it, and you're greeted by Plumeria. She's surrounded by Team Reskull grunts, and there's an older man frowning and a younger girl in tattered rags here too.
So you decided to show up after all. Great. I take it that Pompadour and Lily are on their way too?
You tell her Yan that the two of them are taking a ferry over.
Cool. Looks like we might just pull this off. Let's go over the plan before they arrive.
What? Aren't you going to introduce us, Plumeria?
Oh, this is Acerola and Nanu.
Hey, we deserve more of an intro than that!
The young girl with ragged clothing skips up to you and the older guy slowly trudges next to her.
I'm Acerola, and I'm the trial captain of this spooky store. Usually this is where I set up my trial, but when Team Reskull needed a place to stay after Team Buddy started chasing them, I totally let them crash here. The ghost types weren't too happy about that and left, but I'm sure once we fix everything, they'll come back. Oops, sorry, Uncle. This is Nanu, Ula Ula's kahuna.
Hey.
Alright, if we're done with the intros, now can we talk about how to save Guzma and the rest of Team Reskull?
Okay. Here, I brought the map you wanted.
Nanu lays the map of Ula Ula Island on a pile of junk, and the 4 of you gather around it.
Okay, so, when Team Buddy buddyized, or whatever dumb word you were using, Guzma and the rest of our fam, they totally remodeled Po Town. That was where we usually hung out at, but now, it's all sunshine and rainbows over there. Guzma should be at the house at the far end, so all we have to do is get in there, and hopefully that greaser guy will show up and help him. I don't know what he's got planned to do to Guzma, but...
Yo, 5-0! 5-0! The nice zombies are coming!
A Reskull grunt dashes into the room yelling a bunch of warnings, and that's when you see a swarm of Team Buddy grunts enter the building.
Crap! I didn't think they'd find us so fast. We can totally take them, though. So everyone, get ready!
All of you are bracing yourselves for a tussle, and that's when you hear some obnoxious laughter emanating from the crowd of swell people. A vaguely familiar man with a sinister smirk emerges, and he chuckles at the sight before him.
Well, isn't this just dandy? I was only tasked with capturing the rest of Team Skull, but it looks like I got more than I bargained for. A trial captain, a kahuna, and a worthless runt.
Of course it's you. The Aether Foundation should have fired your worthless butt last year, Faba.
Team Buddy doesn't like words like that. They're my new employers, and I've gotta make them happy. Even if I have to abide by their insanely dumb rules.
Why would they work with a walking piece of garbage like you?
Yeah! Don't they know you have a habit of being awful to everyone? Like, I haven't even met you until now, and even I know that!
Ugh. You're all so bratty. Especially this worthless child. Team Buddy found my research with Ultra Beasts enlightening, and they've entrusted me to be one of their leading scientists on interdimensional research. Helping them sure beats the alternative, which is what's going to happen to all of you.
Yeah, right. Like you could ever do anything to us. Player, go teach him a lesson. We'll make sure the buddy grunts are out of your way.
A mini skirmish breaks out inside the decaying supermarket, and with everyone else busy taking on Team Buddy grunts, you're left to deal with Faba. He battles you with a Slowbro, Hypno, Kadabra, and Bruxish, and looks extremely cocky as he has his Pokemon use very obvious attacks like Psychic and Psybeam. You plan your own attacks around this, however, and overpower his entire team, causing him to stoop to the floor.
Of course, the stupid children always defeat me. I should have just warped to a dimension where everyone is terrible at training Pokemon.
Faba cowers in defeat. As you and your team are celebrating, you hear a familiar humming seep into the building. A pink mist has appeared outside the store, and from it emerges a shadowy figure. She saunters into the building and smiles at everyone as she towers over Faba.
Having some trouble here, my darling Clyde?
I told you, my name is Faba! And I'm not having trouble. I'm just taking a moment to plan out my next strategy.
Cynthia gives an incredibly patronizing laugh, and Faba becomes annoyed.
Well, it certainly looks like you had a bit of a Grundy here. We'll definitely need to talk with the boss about that, darling.
Cynthia's smile turns sinister as Faba's sneer turns to confusion, and all the color drains from his face.
What do you mean?
Our boss doesn't like it when Team Buddy members fail in completing their mission to make people happy. Those people who fail are so sad. And you do know what happens to Team Buddy members that are sad, right?
Faba is suddenly dragged from the supermarket by two Team Buddy grunts who look like police officers. He struggles to break free from their grasp, but soon his screams are silenced as he's dragged out into the pink haze, far away from sight. Cynthia gives an innocent giggle as she fluffs her fur and pulls out a compact to check her makeup.
Sorry, folks. Give me a moment to put on my face. Giving bad news like that always stresses me out, and I'd hate to give you the wrong impression of Team Buddy. You'll have to forgive Clyde's bad behavior. He's such a rotten egg, and I'd hate for him to spoil all of you.
Cynthia makes a step towards your group, but Nanu and Plumeria move in front of you and Acerola.
She's the strong one I've been hearing about. Hey, Sorola, you and the player have to get out of here. Take the exit in the back.
Yeah, we've got this. After we're done here, we'll meet the two of you at the entrance of Potown. If we don't arrive soon, go save Guzma without us.
Acerola, trusting Nanu with all of her heart, runs to the back of the store to escape. You don't follow her right away as you still feel like you can help take on Cynthia, and that's when the Team Buddy police officers return. This time around, they have mysterious pink variants of Pokemon with them, and they're also wielding Lucid Mist spray guns. On Cynthia's command, they start attacking and misting everyone in the room, and though people are putting up a fight, many Team Reskull grunts fall into a daze of happiness. Above the chaos, Plumeria shouts at you to get out of here, and you rush to the back of the building before Cynthia can apprehend you. You crawl out of a secret window and are now in a small forested area. It's full of ghost-type Pokemon you can encounter, and you follow a pathway that leads back to the Trailer Park Plaza. You don't see Acerola anywhere, which is definitely concerning, but you still decide to honor your promise to Plumeria and save Guzma. You travel clockwise around the island, which, by the way, if you try to go back to the supermarket, you'll be denied access by Team Buddy grunts who say that they're refurbishing the building, and you'll get to surf through a small water route, battle many trainers and wild Pokemon, and even go through a flower patch area where a thick pink mist is blocking you, and you have to use your ride Braviary to make it through. After traversing all of this, you arrive at a quaint street right on the outskirts of Potown's walls. You approach a classy wooden door embedded into the massive steel, and as you do, you glance around hoping that someone else is here to help you. But alas, nobody else is here. You're gonna have to go into the belly of the dandy beast alone, so I hope you're prepared to crush it. You ring the doorbell, which lets out a cheery tone, and the doors unlock and slowly open, welcoming you to what, for all intents and purposes, is a Team Buddy hideout. You brace yourself for the worst as you step into the town, and what you're about to see is truly shocking. The sun is shining brightly, like so much so that you get the impression it never goes away. A faint aroma that smells like the sea breeze. No, wait, cookies. Actually, I take that back. Lemonade wafts through the air. All the houses have been fixed up and painted in bright, happy colors, and you see numerous Team Reskull grunts dressed in classy 1950s fashion happily talking to each other as they go about their day. Some are mowing the lawn, others happily gossiping, and there's even a few that are just taking in the delightfully happy day with their Pokemon. A brightly painted sign nearby designates the swell town as Poford. It's unsettling to say the least, and horrifyingly happy to say the most. Plumeria said Guzma was most likely at the house at the far end of Poford, so you begin your descent into madness and start walking through the buddy-ized Po town. You go through a maze-like dungeon of the pleasant Poford suburbs, and along the way battle buddy-ized Team Reskull grunts. They're very friendly and cordial to you, offering to heal your Pokemon and give you some helpful items, but once you trounce them, they snap back to normal instantly and freak out at how they're just like old people, yo! As you're blasting through Poford, rejecting the kind hospitality of these reformed street youth, you'll soon find yourself inside of the mansion at the end of the road. You work your way through another small maze of lavish vintage rooms where even more Team Buddy, Team Reskull grunts try to stop you and have a nice chit-chat, and you'll go upstairs and enter a large, beautiful terrace. Standing at the end of it, gazing off of the lovely balcony at this swell town, is a man and woman. They're holding hands and acting very lovey-dovey with one another. If you thought my greaser character's slang was bad, you ain't heard nothing yet.
Oh, my plumbed pudding, Petalil. It looks like we have company.
Oh, my darling Schmoopy Doozle. I know them. Back when I was such a hooligan, we made plans to turn you back to normal.
Oh, my radiant rambunctious rose. How silly and adorable you were. Why don't we stop this degenerate? Then I can cook you a swell dinner.
You spoil me so, Guzma. Maybe we can have this ruffian try your puffin a la meatloaf? It's just so scrumptious.
Though you haven't eaten since, well, honestly, since you arrived in Alola, you can't let the nice facade of the dandy duo distract you, and you and your Pokemon get ready to smack some sense back into them. They give such joyous laughs, but hold hands as they call out their Pokemon to meet yours in a friendly fight. They work together in a double battle, and Guzma uses a Golisopod and Masquerain, while Plumeria has a Gengar and Crobat. Their normally brash fighting style has been replaced with something more calculated, and they also use a lot of moves that focus on boosting each other's Pokemon. Once beaten, the two of them erupt into a fit of giggles and applaud you for being such a rambunctious youngster. Though you defeated them and they experienced a shock, so to speak, it wasn't enough to break through their romance and free them from their happiness curse. Guzman wants to celebrate your victory and invites you to join them for supper. He excuses himself from the balcony to go downstairs and get started on the Puffin Loaf, but things aren't quite that easy for him. Hey, where do you think you're going, Gramps?
Yeah, what should I say, buddy?
Lily, call him out on his lame fashion style. Say he looks like a total cube.
Okay, thanks. You look like a cube!
Hey, that was really good, little Lil. You turn around to see Lily and Buddy standing confidently in the doorway. Guzman gives them a friendly hello as he tries to walk around, but they ain't letting him. All right, little Lil, let him have it.
Here we go!
Lily whips out the spray can that Buddy had stored the buddyizing antidote in and sprays Guzma a few times with it. His vapid grin slowly fades into a look of disgust. His hands clench into fists as he remembers just what exactly has happened to him, and though he doesn't do it, you can tell he wants to rip his clothing to shreds.
Schmoopy, what's wrong, darling?
Guzma turns around, and when he sees what's become of his former admin, he's truly revolted. He snatches the antidote spray out of Lily's hands and gives Plumeria a full misting. Then he does it one more time for good measure. Plumeria's eyes slowly regain their clarity, and she glares around with a scowl.
What happened? Where am I?
Hey, you're safe now, baby! Sorry we were so late. We ran into a couple Team Buddy grunts we had to stealth past, and then I kinda got a little sick on the boat ride over, but Lily came in clutch with some berries, so I'm good now, huh? Thanks again, little Lil. Lily smiles, and the celebration of Po-Town being saved is cut short when Guzma yells out.
Yo, Team Buddy's gonna pay for what they did to us. Team Reskull doesn't play around. You ready to go, Plumeria?
Whoa there, old-timer. We can't just go knocking on the door and expect to battle through 'em all. We gotta be strategic about this.
Who the hell asked you, huh?
First of all, watch your language. They're Lily's present. Second of all, I'm the guy who just saved you, Grandpa.
What the? Granddad? I'm the same age as you, man.
You got white hair though, so you gotta be at least over 60, Daddy-O. There's a bit of a clashing of the egos between Guzma and Buddy, and as they're going back and forth, Plumeria eventually speaks up.
Hey! Listen, you two idiots! I'm as mad as you are about this, Guzma. But the Pompadour guy is right. If we try to do this without a plan, we're as good as dead. I want to save our fam too, but if we get captured again, it's gonna be puffin' a la meatloaf every night and holding hands as we look at the stars and think of our happy life together.
Ugh, sounds terrible. Well, not too bad actually, but being Buddy has to get there ain't good at all.
Fine. What should we do then? I ain't listening to this Pompadour guy if that's what you want.
Hey, I ain't that bad, Daddy-O. Come on, I mean, I was a villain, but I'm totally good now, right, Lil? Lily shrugs her shoulders and gives a sort of motion with her hand, and all the air totally deflates out of Buddy. Lily's serious face twists into a smile and she giggles. He's confused for a moment, but then smirks. You are getting so funny now, Lily. You had me worried there, huh?
I mean, you did throw up on that captain's shoes.
Hey, you said you weren't gonna tell people! Lily laughs at that, and if Guzma's facial expression were a book, its title would be, I'm done with everything, please end me. At this point, Plumeria steps forward and takes charge. She says that she, Guzma, Lily, and Buddy will stay in Poford and start planning their next move against Team Buddy. She gives you a Poisonium Z and a Buginium Z as a thank you gift for saving her and Guzma, and says that they'll call you when they figured out what to do next. Sounds like a plan, and you wave goodbye to everyone as you exit Poford to get back to your journey. Once outside of town, you get a call on your ether decks from a Alola. She's happy that you're okay and inquires if you were able to save Po-Town. You say you were, and she gives a sigh of relief. She says that right after escaping from the supermarket, she was chased down by Team Buddy grunts, but was able to escape them by going up to the Hokulani Observatory. That's actually what she wanted to talk to you about, and asks if you'll meet her up there for some important trial-related business. With a destination now set, you enter a brand new cave located right here. And this takes you into a new area in this hypothetical game, which is composed of a network of caverns beneath Mount Lanakilla. This is a pretty standard tunnel-type environment, and there are two exits you can take out of here. One puts you out at the Haina Desert, while the other takes you to Route 10, right where the Hokulani bus stop is at. This is the path you're gonna want to take, and before you know it, you've traversed Mount Lanakilla's catacombs and are riding a bus up to the Hokulani Observatory. When you arrive, you see the observatory has taken on quite a different feeling than it had in Ultra. The building looks run down, with broken lights and debris on the depressing exterior, and the atmosphere it gives off is a lot more foreboding. You see a Alola nearby and get the details on what she wanted to talk to you about. As she mentioned at the supermarket when she took Team Skull into the safety of her trial store, all the ghost types that were living there fled the area. All of them decided to take up residence at the Hokulani Observatory, scaring away all of the scientists working here, and that's what a Alola wanted to talk to you about. She wants you to go through the building and let all the ghost Pokemon know they can return home now. You're gonna have to battle a few of them just so they get the message, and if you're able to get all of them to leave, she'll count this as your trial. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal if you ask me, and you agree to her terms and embark into the abandoned observatory. The trial essentially boils down to exploring the building and defeating ghost-type Pokemon. There's a locked door you need to open, and after finding the key, you can enter a room with a massive telescope. This is where you have a battle against a Totem Mimikyu who seems to be a big fan of the move Play Rough and uses it excessively. If you can withstand all the pain it brings and are able to KO it, the doll-like Pokemon floats away from the observatory and all the other ghost types in the area follow it. Acerola appears and gives you a Ghostinium Z and says you've officially completed her trial. She thanks you for all the help and says the ghost types will be happy to be back in their home. And now as an added bonus, the scientists can return to the observatory and continue their research. As for herself, Acerola is going to go to Melee City and look for her uncle Nanu, who she hasn't been able to find since after Team Buddy attacked. She skips away and leaves you in the abandoned observatory to go about your business. Now at this point in the game, your next main destination is Melee City, but before we go over there, I wanted to run through an important side quest that becomes available to you right after completing the observatory trial. This mission takes place at the Lake of the Sun/Moon, which for this story I'm just going to call the Lake of the Moon. If you're able to locate this mythical area, you'll be treated to a small cutscene when you arrive that shows an ultra wormhole ripping through the sky above it and dropping a person, among many other items and Pokemon, into the ruins. If you enter the old temple, you'll find it's been greatly expanded from what it was like in Ultra, and it's now much more of a labyrinth you'll have to maneuver through. As you're making your way through the maze, you'll encounter a lot of wild Pokemon that aren't native to Alola, including a few from my regional videos, and when you've successfully navigated the confusing corridors, you'll arrive at a small platform raised at the center of the lake. It's here you see a woman sitting down confused. She's surrounded by wild Pokemon, all of whom have a similar deerling in headlights look to them, and as you approach her, you get a sense for her attitude immediately as she bounces up to you.
OMG! Like, I'm Rosa! Who are you? Oh, coolsies! So, like, I was looking for my BFF Hildy, and then, like, this glowy, ringy thingy totes sucked me into it. It was, like, not funsies for sure. And then I totes fell into this grody-looking place. I tried to find my way out, but, like, it's too confusing. But I'm so, like, glad these little guys are okay, though. I, like, totally love Pokemon. #cuties!
As Rosa said, she can't find her way out of the ruins, but thankfully you're here to help. This is your next side quest at the Lake of the Moon, and your goal is to lead Rosa out of the labyrinthian ruins. It's a bit harder than I'm making it sound, because sometimes Rosa will wander away from you, or she wants to take a selfie with a Pokemon, but if you persist, you'll guide her to the ruins exit.
Oh my god, like, thanks, new bestie. You're, like, super amazing and stuff. Here, you toast deserve something cool for saving me. I found this pretty rock when I fell down from the glowy thingy. Anyways, like, I'm gonna go, like, try to find my bestie now. Maybe even shop a little too. Bye!
Rosa gives you an Evium Z and 100,000 Pokédollars as a reward, and then Bubbly skips away to no doubt try and find her friend. Now, as I said earlier, this event with Rosa is a side quest that doesn't necessarily advance the main story, but that doesn't mean it isn't important. Helping Rosa will tie back into the main buddyization threat storyline, and speaking of which, let's get back to that. After aiding Rosa, you travel to Melee City. As you're sightseeing through town, you'll bump into a familiar face outside of the town's garden, your rival Ulani. She reveals that Team Buddy is throwing a garden party inside, but she got bored and left. She wants to have a battle against you to at least feel some kind of excitement today, and so it's time to have a duel. Ulani uses the final form of the starter that's effective against yours, a Toucanon, Umbreon, and Alolan Ninetales. She's definitely gotten stronger since your last showdown and commands her Pokemon with pinpoint precision. It's a tense battle, but Ulani gives a sigh as she's been defeated by you once more. She lets out a rather genuine compliment on your strength as a trainer, which totally catches you off guard, then goes to Melee City's Pokemon Center. The pathway to Melee Garden is now open, and at hearing that Team Buddy is throwing some kind of party in there, you know trouble is most likely a-brewin'. You enter the garden and find it's been decked out in classy vintage decorations. Tons of Team Buddy grunts, Buddy-Eyes trainers, Pokemon, and even just regular people are hanging around talking to each other, and everyone seems to be having a good time. It looks like a fairly normal event, although you know the true nature of Team Buddy, which means the sinister undertones are apparent. And out of the corner of your eye, you spot 3 figures in the central gazebo. Our swell mother Cynthia is there, of course, but in addition, you see an upset Acerola confronting her and a very formal-looking policeman making sure the kid doesn't run away. Upon closer inspection, the cop is actually Nanu, and he has an uncharacteristic smile, which means that... Oh no. You try to run up to them, but the bridge to the gazebo is blocked by a table stacked high with puffin loaves and Magikarp casseroles. You don't have time to argue with the unique foods of the 50s, and so you have to work your way around the outskirts of the garden to find an open bridge to the center. You battle many Team Buddy grunts who notice that you're panicked and try to help you by battling you, and when you're halfway through the garden, you hear Cynthia talking to a Alola.
Oh, I'm so happy to meet such a cutie pie. Now you're going to be part of our lovely family, sweetie. Come give Mommy a hug.
Uncle, please help me! I need help!
Acerola screams for Nanu to help, but he just stands there smiling. Cynthia pulls her into a sickly sweet hug, and Acerola's struggling slowly turns into limp confusion. Cynthia thanks Officer Nanu for his help, and she tenderly guides the dazed Acerola out of the gazebo, leaving Nanu alone. You finally make it through the Team Buddy-infested green space and enter the central gazebo. Smiling Team Buddy officers armed with Lucid Mist sprayers try to foil your mission, but you're able to dodge their misting attacks and use your Pokemon to knock them into the water. You now come face to face with the crooked cop Nanu, and though he's still buddy-eyed, you know you have to try and knock some sense into him.
Oh golly, have you come for a kahuna battle against me? I'm in such high spirits after helping my darling niece that I must warn you that my Pokemon and I won't lose so easily. Let's both do our best and have a good time.
This is gonna sound weird, but technically this is your grand trial for Ula Ula Island. Nanu has a team consisting of Alolan Persian, Sableye, Absol, and Krokorok, and they put up a formidable fight. You soon defeat him, however, and he gives you a Dark EMZ and says that you've completed his grand trial. After he hands you the crystal, he tries to make small talk, but his face slowly contorts into one that shows panic and seriousness, and he eventually breaks free of being buddy-eyed. His eyes dart around in panic, trying to find Acerola, and when he realizes what he's done, he bows his head in shame.
No. What have I done? I couldn't protect her, not even from myself.
It's a depressing scene in your journey, and you're jolted out of the moment when you get a call on your ether dex from Buddy. He keeps it brief and says they might have found a way to tip the scales in your favor for when you assault Team Buddy's headquarters. He asks you to return to Poford so he can explain the plan, and after giving a concerned glance to Nanu, who is still standing there sadly, you fly back to your group. When you arrive, you find Buddy, Lily, Guzma, and Plumeria hanging out on the center street. They walk up to you and give you the lowdown on what they've planned. Hey, good to see you, Ankle Bada. We've been planning out our next move on Team Buddy. Grandpa here seemingly knows a way to sneak in, and we think if we can get in there and sabotage the place with the buddy-assing antidote, things will turn back to normal, you dig?
Yo, I told you, I ain't no grandpa.
The only problem, though, is we're gonna need a whole lot of firepower to get in there, so we've been racking our domes to try and gather people to help us. That was when Little Lil had a great idea. Lily nervously steps forward.
So, a year ago, I made friends with someone really powerful. I called them Nebby, and together, we took on a powerful Pokemon named Necrozma. The last time I saw Nebby was at Pony Island, so I think if we go there, we might find Nebby and get him to join us.
Buddy nods his head supportively, but Guzma, on the other hand, isn't quite as down with the idea.
What? So that's just a feeling you had, and not something real? I thought you actually knew somebody, or had something right now. Come on, that ain't good to us, Lily. Don't you even want to save everybody?
Guzma huffs and turns his back on the group. Lily sniffles as tears well in her eyes.
I do, I thought...
Guzma is suddenly thrown to the ground, and Buddy is holding him by the collar, giving him a serious glare. Hey, don't do that to her, huh? We've all lost people, and we all want them to come back. She's lost more than you can ever know, and she's trying her best, Daddy-o. If Lily thinks that finding Nebby is going to help, then I trust her, and you better get on board fast. Right now, this is our best bet, so show some respect and try to be more compassionate, huh? He lets go of Guzma's collar and goes to try and comfort Lily. Guzma is shocked, but picks himself up off the ground and grumbles as he slides back to the mansion.
Is he gonna be alright?
Yeah, he'll be fine. This whole thing has just hit us hard. Let me go talk to him, and you guys go after Nebby.
Plumeria goes back to the mansion to sort out Guzma's emotional baggage. Lily wipes away her tears as she tries to steady herself. Buddy makes sure she's stable and sighs as he looks towards where Guzma and Plumeria went. I don't want to leave you guys, but I gotta go talk to Guzman and make sure he's alright. He shouldn't have said what he did, and I'm so sorry you had to hear that, Lil, but he's one of our slodges right now, and I might have been too harsh on him, huh? I'm counting on you and the player to go find Nebby, and once you do, we can fix the Alola, yeah? We'll be laughing about this next week with your mama and bro, Lily, and Cherry will be back, and it'll all be great, and everything's gonna be A-okay, doll. Buddy gets a wistful sparkle in his eye, and it's motivating both you and Lily to go get Nebby. Just make sure you're both careful, alright? Lily, make sure you guide Wigglytuff well, too.
I will, buddy. We'll be back soon.
The two of you leave Poford behind as your greaser friend cheers you on, and your next objective in the game lies at Pony Island. You get to Mantine Surf over there while Lily takes a ferry, and you both meet up at the Seafolk Village.
Alright, we just have to make it through Vast Pony Canyon and up to the Altar of the Sun. That's where I feel that Nebby will be. We can't fail now, player, so let's do our best.
Lily runs ahead of you energetically with Buddy's Wigglytuff waddling after her, and at this point in the game you get to navigate through Pony Island mostly uninterrupted. Aside from battling wild Pokemon and trainers that challenge you, you can also complete your 7th trial while you're here. This is totally optional, and you can wait until after you've done all of the Nebby stuff to do this, but I might as well detail this trial while we're still at the start of Pony Island's story. So there's a uniquely themed boat at the Seafolk Village that's shaped like a pink Whiscash. When you go inside, you find the interior has a vintage aesthetic going on, and there's a girl dressed like a Team Buddy member that's trying to paint retro art. Turns out this is Mina, the 7th trial captain, and despite her appearance, she isn't actually buddyized. Team Buddy wanted to fund her art and commission her for various paintings, and they provided her with new furniture and clothing, which she just kinda rolled with because she's super chill. The problem, however, is that she isn't getting any inspiration for her art. She has a deadline of this evening, which is when Team Buddy will be holding a big gala, and she's barely finished one painting. She's hoping you doing her trial will inspire her, so no pressure, but Mina's job is on the line based on how well you do at her challenge. For her trial specifically, you'll be warped to a large boat that has a gigantic blank canvas on it. You get to ride one of Mina's new Pokemon, which is a special Gastrodon that leaves a colored slime trail behind it, and your task for this trial is to draw lines from point to point on the canvas while avoiding obstacles. You know those dot-to-dot puzzles? That's basically what this trial would be like, although you get different grades based on how smooth the line is, and if you go too slow or hit an obstacle, you have to battle a wild Pokemon. Once you've completed the dot-to-dot puzzle, you're shown an aerial view of what you've drawn, and it's vaguely reminiscent of a Smeargle. Suddenly, the canvas rips in half, and a gigantic pink Smeargle jumps out of the boat towards you. This is, of course, a totem battle, and you must make quick work of this mysterious Smeargle. It's a fairy type that can force Cutie Fly to help it, and you quickly find out that the attacks it knows are all powerful moves made to counter poison and steel-type Pokemon. You survive its bombardment of earthquakes and flamethrowers and launch it off the ship into the abyss. Mina's mouth is agape at how much overkill you gave that poor Smeargle, but she still hands you a Fairy Z for completing her trial. She then says that while you were doing her challenge, she was inspired enough to complete some pieces of art, and if you ever want to come back and help her again, just talk to her and she has many more connect the dot puzzles you can do. Alright, getting back to your main objective of finding Nebby, you continue journeying around Pony Island and soon enter the Vast Pony Canyon. It's here you run across Lily and Wigglytuff hiding behind some rocks while Team Buddy grunts are playing Go Fish a few meters away.
Hey, player! Wigglytuff and I were going through here and we found some Team Buddy grunts. What do you think they're up to? I know we're here for Nebby, but we should stop them, right?
You and Lily confront the Team Buddy grunts and they offer to let you and your Pokemon join in on their game. Little do they know that you're not interested in card games and immediately challenge them to a Pokemon battle, where you take on one grunt while Lily takes on the other. Lily has been picking up some fighting tips from Buddy and is able to make quick work of the Buddy grunts, and she only said "ay" 2 times while doing so. The grunts fall to the ground and offer you important information if you'll kindly leave them in peace. They say some other grunts are up ahead at the large altar getting some important materials ready for a big Team Buddy event. Unfortunately, the grunts don't know what the materials are as they were just on lookout duty, and that's all the information you really need. You and Lily continue going through Pony Canyon, tearing through more Team Buddy members until you see a tall staircase that leads up to the altar of the sun.
There it is! That's the altar we're looking for. It looks different, though.
A large ultra wormhole is currently active at the top of the altar, and as you and Lily rush up the staircase, you begin to see some really weird stuff. Tons of high-tech, although vintage-looking machinery has been set up throughout the altar, and many Team Buddy grunts and scientists are examining data and calculations from them. In the middle of everything, you see a lot of canisters that have a strange jellyfish Pokemon in them, and on the other side of the Ultra Wormhole, you see dozens more canisters are being examined and experimented on by strange-looking Team Buddy members. The two of you aren't quite sure what's happening here, but you know that it's definitely evil and has to be stopped. You and Lily split up to battle Team Buddy members around the platform. As you swiftly knock past them with your Pokemon, you see that Lily is doing the same. She's a little hesitant, but her and Wigglytuff make a great team and only take a little damage. Soon, both of you meet up in front of the large portal, and it's here that two dapperly, although somewhat unusual-looking people approach you.
Looks like we have intruders to deal with, Father.
Oh, golly, it sure does, my Ultra Angel! Would you like to battle them in a double battle, darling?
Oh, that'd be just ultra swell.
The two people, whose names are Soliera and Fico, engage you and Lily in a double battle. On their team, Soliera has a Furfrou and Naganadel, and Fico has a Naganadel and Behem. Lily is coming in clutch with Wigglytuff, and you both work together to bring down the Ultra Dandy people. Upon being beaten, they clutch their heads in pain and then glance around the area in a newfound clarity. Ah, my head! It's killing me! Are you alright, Soliera? Are we back to normal?
I think so, Fico. We were saved by these children. Thank you, trainers. You've been of great assistance today.
You're welcome. Please, take it easy now, you two. If you're feeling alright, I was wondering if you could tell us what exactly is happening here.
Well, we're part of a team called the Ultra Recon Squad, and we hail from another dimension. A few months ago, one of our members came home, but they had been corrupted by Team Buddy. They spread that swell influence all over the Ultra Megalopolis, our home, and Team Buddy decided that our dimension was suitable to harvest the Ultra Beast Nihiligo for their needs. Fico gestures to the canisters filled with the alien jellyfish Pokemon Nihiligo, and this brings up a very important question.
What's Team Buddy planning to do with them?
I'm sorry, but not even we know. We've been sending these to the Aether Foundation for weeks, but never went there ourselves. Nihiligo have parasitic properties, so whatever is being done to them is most assuredly bad news.
Fico and Soliera share a look of concern. I know, Soliera. I'm worried about them too. The new recruit was thankfully out on a solo mission when Team Buddy attacks, so I'm sure they're alright, and we both know that Dulce is much too experienced to fall prey to the Buddy grunts. I'm sure he's out looking for Zossie right now and will bring her home safely. The two interdimensional squad members turn back to you and say they're going to return the Nihiligo that are here back to their own worlds, then they're going to save their Ultra Dimension. They ask you to take care of things in this world, and if you see any of their colleagues, to please save them. They give you a Poiple as a thank you gift and then depart through the Ultra Wormhole, which dissipates into the air. Okay, you're definitely gonna need Nebby's help for the battles ahead, and Lily says now's the time to summon it. She pulls two mystical flutes out of her bag, the Flute of the Sun and the Flute of the Moon.
Alright, player. Let's try to summon Nebby. A year ago, a former champion and I used these instruments to help Nebby power up. And I think if we use them again, it will return here. I was worried the Island Guardians might have been mad I didn't put these flutes back, but I think they knew we'd have to use them again someday.
She hands you a flute and the two of you get into position. On Lily's signal, you both play your instruments and the sound they make creates an energy vortex around you. This power flows through the ground, up into the altar's crest, and you hear a loud "Boo!" echo through the air. A new Ultra Wormhole breaks through the space in front of you, and one of Alola's legendary Pokemon steps out of it to face you. For the sake of this video, I'm using Solgaleo as the example, as it's one of my favorites, but keep in mind that it could also be Lunala, provided you're playing the quote-unquote other version game.
Nebby, you're here!
The Solgaleo, hereafter referred to as Nebby, looks at Lily and lets out a joyous roar as she runs over to it and gives it a hug tackle. The two take a moment to have a nice reunion, and then Lily remembers everything that's at stake and breaks from her embrace.
Alright, player, you're gonna have to capture Nebby. Solgaleo. It wants to battle you to make sure you're worthy enough to handle it. Don't worry, he looks tough, but he's just a big pushover. Earn its trust, and then we can go save everyone!
With Lily's okay, you enter into a battle against the Solgaleo. You have to capture this legendary Pokemon to continue the story, and it puts up a heck of a fight, calling upon its interdimensional power to strike you. If you can stand up to this powerful beast and capture it, Lily will become overjoyed, not just for you, but for Nebby to have a great new trainer. A strange beeping sound erupts from your bag. You pull out your Ether Dex to find you're getting an urgent video message from the Ether Foundation. You, Lily, and Nebby gather curiously around the device, and a message from Wick plays on the screen.
Hello, my darling sweethearts. The Aether Foundation is proud to announce we'll be holding a swell gala at our main headquarters today. And everyone is invited. The lovely Team Buddy will be hosting it, and as such, all Team Buddy members are required to be here. So make sure to put on a smile and drop on by for a dandy celebration. Especially you, Lilith.
The video ends and you look over at Lily. She's clearly been shaken by the message, but does her best to regain her confidence.
No, there's no time to be scared anymore. Come on, player. Let's go back to Poford and meet up with Buddy. It's time we save everyone.
Lily's got the right idea, and the two of you return to Poford. You meet up with Buddy, Guzma, and Plumeria, who have somewhat patched things up since you last saw them, and you also see that Ulani is here too. She's finally realized that Team Buddy ain't as good as they've been leading her on to be, and she was recruited to your cause when Team Buddy tried to take her and Tao to their salon, but they escaped from them, which is a daring side story for another time. Hey, welcome back, Slodges. I take it you found that Nebby person?
Yep, the player captured them, and now we're ready for anything.
This great help that's supposed to stop Team Buddy is called Nebby.
Wait, you captured a person?
Oh, no, Nebby's not a...
Nebby decides it wants to introduce itself properly and breaks out of its Pokeball to gallantly pose for everyone. Buddy is absolutely floored at the sight of the legendary beast, as is the rest of the group. Whoa! You didn't tell me your friend was a crazy space lion, little Lil! That's pretty rad, Dolly! He's gotta be strong, huh?
Considering Solgaleo is one of Alola's legendary Pokemon, then yeah, it's pretty strong.
Awesome! Looks like we have almost everything we need to get the plan a-rollin'. Who's ready to take down Team Buddy and save Alola? Things are obviously escalating to the point of the big finale, but before we get into the climax of this hypothetical game, there's something kind of important I need to address about the strike team you formed. The base team is comprised of 5 members, my former bad guy turned good guy self, Guzma, Lily, Ulani, and you the player. In addition to these 5, however, you can also recruit 4 other trainers to help you take on Team Buddy. You unlock each of the 4 by doing different side quests, and I wanted to quickly go through each of these characters and how you can get them to join your Alola saving group. The first character you can recruit is Nanu, and he's probably the easiest. All you need to do is find him and talk to him, and he'll gladly join your team. He became rather depressed after becoming buddy-ized and giving Acerola away, and he's drowning in his sorrows at the Seafolk Village's floating restaurant. The second character you can recruit is Hilda, the woman who fell out of the Ultra Wormhole and is very, mean, to put it nicely. To get her on the strike team, you'll have to complete her 2 previous missions, meaning that you've saved her at 10 Carat Hill and at the Well of Volcano, and you'll find her sunbathing at the Melee Beach afterwards. Unfortunately, recruiting her isn't as easy as just walking up and talking to her, and there's 2 more requirements you'll need to complete. The first is that you'll have to pay her 500,000 Poké Dollars to pay for, as she puts it, the Hilda tax. And the second thing you'll have to do is supply her with a Pokemon that she can use in the upcoming showdown. This might shock you, but Hilda is a little bit picky, and you have to get her a Pokemon that is specifically level 40, has evolved at least once, and is a flying type.
Like, it better have one of those bird whatever Pokemon and stuff. those are like the only ones that aren't super barth, okay?
This limits a lot of your choices, but if you truly want her to join your team, which I don't know why anybody wouldn't, you're gonna have a lot of work to do. The third character you can unlock is heavily tied to Hilda, and that's Rosa. She was the follower at the Lake of the Moon, and if you want her on your team, you have to, number 1, complete her Ula Ula Island side quest and guide her out of the ruins she fell into, number 2, have Hilda recruited, and number 3, give her a really cute Pokemon to use, because much like Hilda, she hasn't captured anything, and she really wants to use a partner Pokemon when you go to the Aether Foundation.
Oh, player! Could you find me that adorbs Pikachu that I've been hearing so much about? It's that type of Pikachu that totes loves to dress up, and just thinking about the adorable costumes I can get him is totes making me squeal. But I don't know where to find it, which is kinda lame. But I figured somebody as cool as you would be able to help me, right?
After you've given her a Mimikyu, she'll gladly join your team. She's mostly there to hang out with her gal pal Hilda and gossip, but there is a small part of her that really does want to be there to help you and take down Team Buddy. The final character that can join you is Flint. If you go back to the Tidesong Hotel and talk to him about joining, he says he'll gladly help you out in saving Alola and Cynthia, but he's worried that he might not be strong enough. He's heard that there are some powerful Z crystals hidden deep underneath Mount Lanakila, and he asks you to bring him a couple. You go do that, and when you return, he thanks you for your help and actually gives you one of the Z crystals, which is either a Primarinium Z, Deciduium Z, or Incinerorium Z, depending on your starter Pokemon. After giving you a Z crystal gift, Flint happily joins your strike team. So these 4 characters, Nanu, Hilda, Rosa, and Flint, are all optional, and you don't technically need to recruit any of them to go take on Team Buddy. Depending how many you have with you, however, does make the final confrontation a little bit easier. And for the sake of this video, and in telling the full narrative I imagined, I'll be going over the scenario that takes place if you successfully gathered all 4 of these optional trainers to your cause. When everyone has been gathered at Po Town, naturally hijinks and banter ensue.
OMG, Hildy, check out this cutie I got! It's a Pikachu with a cute little mask. I can't wait to take it shopping with me!
Oh my god, Rosa, what is that ugly thing?
It's a Mimikyu, Hilda! Or maybe it's a Mimikyu? I don't know, but it loves getting hugs and the player helps me get it!
Of course that loser helped you. Listen, Bunbo, that thing is such an eyesore and you need to dump it. Nobody's gonna like you if you have a lame Pokemon, and worse than that, I don't want to be associated with an unhot joke of a friend if you keep that worthless thing around. I don't see how that's a bad thing, all things considered. I'm surprised your Pokemon hasn't tried to run away from you yet, considering how much of a jerk you are. Hey, this convo, doesn't include you, 4 Eyes. Besides, my Pokemon totes #loves me, unlike your lame-o Pokemon.
Hey, come on, you guys, we got bigger things to work.
Stay out of this. Yeah, butt out, loser.
Hey, do you guys think we should do something about this?
I've got 50 to 1 that the glasses girl will win.
That's not what I meant!
You're crazy, dog. That other girl's gonna beat her down. She's giving me OG Team Skull vibes, which is dope.
As everyone is bantering with each other, you can talk to each of them individually to get a sense of their personalities and motivation. After enjoying a moment of peace, a strange-looking man saunters into Poford and walks up to your group. He's dressed in dapper clothing and a swell smile, and you vaguely recall seeing him at the Aether Foundation during your Alola adventure briefing.
Ah, Guzman, Plumeria. I do hope I'm not interrupting your swell picnic, but Madame Luce... Wait, you're all normal? Nobody is buddy-eyed anymore?
You and everybody else that's gathered in Poford get ready to throw down with this apparently buddy-eyed person, but he quickly puts his hands up and tries to quell the situation.
Wait! No, it's not what it looks like. My name is Dulce, and I'm not buddy-eyed, I promise. Team Buddy attacked my world, took those closest to me, and twisted them into distortions of their former selves. I had to blend in, or risk being turned as well, and so I've been hiding within their group, waiting for an opportune moment to strike.
Everybody stares at Dulce hesitantly and Buddy steps forward. I don't know, pal. Seems awfully convenient you'd know right where to find us, huh? What if you're trying to trick us and you really are buddy-ized?
Please, you must believe me when I say I'd never deceive you. In fact, now that I know you're all planning to take down Team Buddy, I want to aid you. I've been around the interior of the Foundation and can help you navigate through it and attack where it really counts.
Everyone is still concerned, but the idea of having an apparent insider to aid in your cause does sound helpful. Lily bravely steps forward and vouches for the man.
You're the one that's part of the team with Fico and Soleria, aren't you?
Yes, I am a member of the Ultra Recon Squad. Did you meet Fico and Soliera? Are they okay? Was Zossie with them?
Yeah, we ran into them on Pony Island. They're fine, although we didn't meet anybody named Zossie with them.
I see. That means Team Buddy undoubtedly still has Zossie in their clutches. Please, you must allow me to help you. Not just to save Alola or my home dimension, but to save a friend that I've lost.
That last line Dulce says really speaks to Buddy, and if you and Lily can vouch for him and the Ultra Recon Squad, it looks like he's a new honorary member of the Verbanks Lodge Strike Team. Alright, Spaceman is now part of our team, so let's all put our heads together and think, huh? We need to figure out a plan on how to get into the Ether Foundation and save everyone, you dig? All of you huddle together to work out your plan of attack. The screen fades to black, and then sometime later it fades back in, and everyone is standing in a half circle around Buddy as he's going over the master plan that everyone helped make. Hey, listen up everybody! Operation Bye Bye Love is about to commence. We're gonna take back Alola, but more importantly, we're gonna save our friends, family, and in some cases, mild acquaintances, huh? The plan is simple. The Foundation is having their big gala tonight. They've got some kind of big revelation that'll blah blah blah, happy swell, whatever. We're gonna stop them before they do anything bad, and there are 3 easy steps we gotta do. Step 1, get into the Foundation. Our resident elder over there has a boat he'll be taking us over in, and we can easily sneak into the building through a secret vent only he knows about.
I ain't even gonna bother. Once this is all over with, I'll whoop you in a battle, old-timer.
Step 2, the door to the gala is gonna be locked up tight, and in order to get in, we're gonna need 3 key cards. Take it away, Gort.
Is that me? Okay, the first key card will be in Team Buddy's living quarters on the 5th floor. The second should be at the Grand Kitchen on the main floor. And the final one is at the secret labs in the basement. We'll be splitting up into 3 teams to get these key cards, and once we have them, we'll meet back at the large gala door.
Step number 3, and this is my favorite. We get into the gala, smack down some Team Buddy grunts, defeat their new, obviously less cool leader, and then we open up canisters of this. He slaps 2 giant containers with Alola Muck-style stripes on them that are stacked beside him. These bad boys have the Elusive Mist antidote in them, and after we've made sure Team Buddy's leader ain't going anywhere, we'll release the antidote into the Foundation and cure everybody from being buddy-ized. There should be enough here to make sure everyone in the gala can come back to their senses, but it's really important we take down the leader first and foremost though, cause if they escape, then all of this ain't gonna be worth jack squat. We take down the leader, release the antidote, then we all go out for victory, malasadas. You guys ready to rock? The screen pans through the crowd of freedom fighters you've assembled, and everyone is very excited to go and save Alola. With a plan to save Alola now firmly in place, everyone goes to board Team Skull's boat via a new dock near Poford. When you go there yourself, you see that everyone has already boarded the watercraft save for Lily and Buddy, who are standing on the dock talking to each other.
Let's go, buddy! Wiggly and I are ready to crush it!
Easy! Save the punches for Team Buddy, huh?
Sorry, I've just learned so much about battling from you, and I'm so excited to go save everyone.
I gotta have a heart-to-heart with you. I know you're strong, Lily, and I'd never be one of those people who tries to stop you from helping so you don't get hurt or whatever, but you gotta know being here is gonna be dangerous, alright?
Well, duh, I know, but you said it yourself. As long as we work together, we can do anything.
Yeah, I know you know, but this Team Buddy is bad news, and if you're in trouble, I'm gonna drop everything to make sure you're alright. I don't want you to get hurt like Cherry or anybody else.
I can take care of myself now, buddy. You've taught me some good battling moves. I mean, I know I'm not as strong as the player or you, but I'm not as weak as I was earlier. I want to help save my family and your friend. This'll be easy, Grandpa.
Hey! Alright, kid. Just be careful, alright? I don't want to have to use a little muck against a buddy-ass version of you, huh? Both Lily and Buddy share a rather tender moment and smile at each other, and then board the boat. You also go in, and your strike team sails across the sea to the Ether Foundation.